Good morning. So I just filmed my low bar year video, so I thought I'd come on and update the vlog as well. I'm wearing this dress today. Now, you will see pyjama bottoms because, yeah. But I love this dress. It really reminds me of a stick of rock. But I was just saying on that video, I find it really hard to wear when the weather is like, at the moment, it's hot, so it's perfect for the heat. I don't know why I've still got my pyjama bottoms on because I am hot. But if I'm going out the house, I don't feel like I can put a jacket on. I mean, because it kind of, I can wear it like that as well, which I do quite like. But I like when I wear it off the shoulders, it covers my nips. I really should learn to censor a bit more on this video, shouldn't I? But yeah, when I put a jacket on, all this bunches up and then it annoys me. So yes. Right, I have come to you because over the weekend, firstly, I haven't vlogged anything from this weekend. On Saturday, some of Nana's relatives visited from Nana's niece and her husband from down south were visiting. So we'd arranged to go for a meal and we managed to get in touch with a lot of the family. And I think there were 14 of us in total. I mean, props to the staff at the pub because they did brilliantly to say there was such a big group of us. And it was really lovely. Like, I met Tom's cousin and her children for the first time and reconnected with some of Tom's extended family. And we met for the meal at 6:30 and we were still there after 10 o'clock. So bless Nana, on Sunday, she was absolutely exhausted. And I know the feeling because so was I. But yeah, she had a really great time. But before I went, I was really anxious. Like, I don't know, I always, just groups of people and people that I don't know, it would have been so easy for me to not go. But we all had a really good time. And most importantly, Nana really enjoyed it. And the food was fantastic. So then yesterday we had a bit more of a chill day. But like I say, Nana didn't get up till gone 11, and by about 1 o'clock she was fast asleep on the sofa, so she went back to bed for a couple of hours. And she kept talking about how much she'd enjoyed it and how she couldn't believe that I'd organised it. And yeah, it was just really, really nice. But yesterday me and Tom did go to Loughborough and I bought this jumpsuit. Now, you'll have seen me in my leopard print one. I absolutely love putting that on just for pottering around the house, and I found it in like a maroon colour, and I wear these a lot on holiday because I mean, let's just put it out there, I am most comfortable naked. I hate feeling clothes and feeling stuff touching my skin, and these jumpsuits have these thin little spaghetti straps and they're like harem ones, so they're baggy. I'll try and insert a clip here of it if I remember to take one before I upload this vlog. And yeah, that was $3.99 from the Headway charity shop, so really impressed with that. I also bought my nephew a game for his birthday. He's turning 6, I believe, and I've bought him this Orchard Toys Telling the Time game, and I was having fun with it yesterday, so I'm looking forward to hopefully playing that with him. I did also finish 2 books and DNF 1 book, and I'm just going to get the DNF out the way first because I know there are going to be some people that shout at me. But I DNF Legends and Lattes. This is the second time I've tried to read it and it wasn't bad, but I just didn't find myself picking it up because I just thought it was really slow. A lot of people have said to me that it does get going and the romances are lovely and I'd really enjoy it, but I'm starting to find with books that if I don't get into them in the first 100 pages, I then, because I read multiple books at a time, they then get kind of out of favour with me. And Tom's friend Hazel wants to read this one, so I'm going to pass it on to her because I think that she will appreciate it a lot more than I have been. And then a book that I did love, and I think I gave this a 5-star, and that is Sing If You Can't Dance by Alexia Casale. Now, this follows Ven, who is on her school's kind of dance team, and they go to this big audition right at the beginning of the book. I think it had kind of vibes of either like Britain's Got Talent or X Factor or something like that. And she collapses on stage, wakes up in hospital with a diagnosis that means that she can no longer dance, and she doesn't really know what to do with herself. And this was just so I was really lucky to not have to deal with my chronic illness while I was at school. My chronic life kind of started when I was at college and I got glandular fever. That was the very start of things for me. I only realised the other day I have lived more of my life with a chronic illness than without now, because I turned 33 and I first got ill at 16. So I didn't have to navigate school bullies and teenage friendships, but this was just beautifully done. There was a lot in here that I could relate to, and especially the very last little chapter of this one was spot on. Not read any Alexia Cassale before. I believe that she has 2 either middle grade or YA like fantasy books. I think The Bone Dragon, I'll put a picture here, and definitely an author that I would read from again. I've ummed and ahed over whether to pass this on, but I think this needs to stay in my collection for now because I need to read it again. But I would highly recommend, if you like YA and chronic illness rep, you pick this book up. This only came out this month. This was a pre-order that I read in the month I got it. Like, who am I? And I really enjoyed it. And then I finished another 5-star literally in the same day. It was yesterday. I finished both of these. Was that only yesterday? God, that feels like ages ago. But the second one is Pre-Loved by Lauren Bravo. Now, I think this is between a 4.5 and a 5-star because it did take me a little while to get into this one. Not as long as some of the others. And this was a lovely book about a woman, Gwen, who is in her, I think she's 38, and we love an older main character. And she is a little bit lost with life, I think, and she goes to volunteer in a charity shop. She turns up at the charity shop first to donate something and then ends up talking to the manager and ends up volunteering. But this book was 2 things in one. It was a story about Gwen and what she was going through, but at the end of every chapter there was a kind of love letter to a donation almost. So there was like, it would be called like shoes or hat or tie, and it would talk about the person that had donated them or the person that had bought them and something that was going on in their life. And I loved it. Kind of similar to how Stephanie Butland's Lost for Words was the first one. What was the one that I just read? It's gone. Stephanie Butland's, I'll put the picture up here, where she had the kind of story going on and then like love letters to readers. This was the story going on and love letters to charity shops and donations and the people that work there and the people that use them. And yeah, absolutely loved it. That's out in hardback, audio and ebook at the moment. I will hopefully get my hands on that when it comes out in paperback. I probably will pre-order that one. I'm going to allow myself to do that. And yeah, so now it's really weird because usually yesterday when I finished those, I was down to having just one physical book and one audio book that I was reading. And so the physical book was is Fiona Cummins' Into the Dark, which I'm really getting into. I wanted to stay up later reading it last night, but guess what? I actually prioritised my health and went to sleep, which is not me. This was recommended to me by Amelia from Amelia Barlow Books, and yeah, enjoying it so far. I'm only 60 pages in and intrigued and don't fully know what's going on. And then from BorrowBox, a few months ago on my Instagram, the other one that I was listening to and still am is Finding Hilda Say, which I am reading on my walks, and because I haven't been out for walks recently because of chronic illness, that one is kind of lingering on. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, it's just that I specifically want to read it when I'm going out for a walk. So on my Instagram, you guys had voted that I read The Night Circus, and the font in this is really small, so that has now come through on BorrowBox, so I can listen to it. I think I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure yet, but again, I'm not very far in, and I'm re-listening to a bit that I had read, so I think once it gets going into new story, I'll be able to tell you more. And then I know that I'm going to get some judgment from this, but I'll let you judge me. Last night I started reading Christmas Carols and a Cornish Cream Tea. I'm reading along with subtitles by listening to this one as well. I had finished From Cornwall with Love earlier in the month, and I just wanted to be back in that world, so I skipped. This is book number 5 or 4. Basically, I read the first few books, then I skipped this one to read A Cornish Cream Tea Holiday, and then skipped the Christmas one to read From Cornwall with Love. So I'm catching up now, and after loving From Cornwall with Love and loving the side characters in it, especially like Finn and Meredith, and I'm not going to be able to think of who the other ones are, I just wanted to be back in this world. And I think I'm a very seasonal reader, so normally I wouldn't really enjoy reading Christmas books in the summer, but it's not summer. I don't care what anyone says. It's drizzly and it's rainy, so this is perfect. And so yeah, I will update you when I've got anything else to talk about. Guys, I have to share this with you. I've just had a belated birthday present from my lovely husband, and it is this t-shirt, and hopefully you can read it, but it says, "My tummy hurts, but I'm being really brave about it." And I just thought that was spot on. That was brilliant. I'm going to wear this next week to my SACAT scan. I'm going to wear it to my CT scan. I'm going to wear it to my colonoscopy. And either the staff will think that I am mad and that I am making my chronic illness my whole personality, or they'll laugh and think it's funny. I think it's funny. It's a really soft cotton too. And yeah, I just thought I'd have to come on here and show you. So I think this is going to be one of those vlogs. I really hope. So I found last week that Monday was full of energy. Tuesday I went to see Barbie. Wednesday, Thursday I had no energy. And I really need to get into a nice balance. So today, rather than using all my energy and doing a lot of housework and then regretting it for the next few days, I'm having my hair cut in a bit. The hairdresser comes to us to do nanas, and so this fringe that is this long now will finally be put in its place. And yeah, I am trying to pace myself. So this week I'm trialing giving myself a different room each day, and that's the only room that I'm allowed to clean or do anything in. So today's is the bathroom, tomorrow's is the kitchen, Wednesday is the lounge, Thursday are the bedrooms, and then Friday I'm going to try and do the floor in the cat's room because it just gets grubby. They fling litter, they get hair everywhere, they bring loads of leaves in from outside. So I will come back to you, possibly not today, unless, I might do actually, I might come back and show you my haircut, but other than that, unless there's something really exciting, I'll see you tomorrow.
I've been hung up
I washed my hair last night and I don't know what's got into it today, but it is just this frizzy. Actually, I tell you what, I did put in some Garnier Ultimate Blends leave-in conditioner, and maybe it just hasn't helped. Normally I use the Curl Friends scrunching jelly, and yeah, maybe that's a bit better for my hair. I am really pleased to report that I am filming in natural light, and it is okay, it's earlier than I thought. I was going to say it's late. It's 7 o'clock and I'm ready for bed, quite honestly. I've been really doing better this week. I'm not sure if you'll have been able to see from the clips, but I'm trying to get into more of a routine and trying to get better at pacing myself, but I'm really not good at pacing. So I had more energy at the beginning of the week and I had to kind of force myself in between tasks to sit down. I don't know if I've mentioned in the vlogs that I've started giving myself, instead of giving myself like a set to-do list, each day I'm giving myself a room, and then I'm going to change it around every week. So like the bathroom and kitchen are the two that like must get done every week. But this week I also managed to do some tidying in here and hoovered all the floors. And it might not sound like a big deal to most people, but for me to have the energy to hoover the whole bungalow was a big thing. I mean, I'm tired now, but I did it. I've also been doing the daily calm and daily yoga, which some days, like this morning, I really was not feeling the yoga. You'll have seen from the clips that Ernie comes and joins in with me though, which is so cute. And do I think it's helping? I'm not sure yet. The daily calm is definitely helping, because just to have that moment of like grounding, and I sit with the window open and get some fresh air while I do it, is fantastic. I was going to try and do it outside, and that is still my plan, but I didn't want to put any obstacles in the way. And if I was like, right, I have to go outside to do it, the way my brain works, then if I couldn't get outside, that would be an excuse not to do it. So my thought is that if I say to myself, you can even do it in bed, you just have to do it, it has meant that I've done it every day, which has been great. My no spend has got off better this month. As you can see, we are 4 days into August now and only planned spends have gone out, which is great. I am going off to the hospital tomorrow to have the first of my CAT scans. I am a little bit apprehensive because obviously of my adhesions. I hope that it doesn't get stuck. I know that when people take the pill cam for the pill cam endoscopy, sometimes people go for like is it potency pill before, just to make sure that it goes through without getting stuck. But yeah, we shall see. And then I go back next Saturday to have a second scan, and that will determine how much bile salt my body is losing to decide whether I have bile acid malabsorption. And I've been talking today to someone about this, and I don't think people that don't have chronic health issues will really get this, but actually having all these tests and them coming back and saying that they're all clear is actually the worst possible outcome, because it makes you then question, like, is it in my head? But the amount of pain that I'm in, and I know some doctors in the past few years have been arseholes, but generally the doctors that I've seen, I mean, the doctor that took out my appendix, he was amazing. Even though one of the other doctors had said to me, oh, I don't see why you're in so much pain, he was like, no, you will feel like you've been kicked by a horse because you have all these adhesions and this is happening and this is happening. I also have a friend that's a radiographer, and I got her to read my CT scan report a few years ago now, and whereas the doctor in A&E had said, oh no, your CT scan was clear, we don't know what's causing the pain. Actually, that's not what my CT report said. It said that there was significant evidence of a partial blockage. Yeah, it it's really difficult when you get gaslighted by the medical profession to not then gaslight yourself. And I do have all these thoughts about, am I just lazy? Am I just this? Am I just that? And yeah, those are kind of like big trigger sirens in my head. But for now, there's just a lot going around in my head, if you can't already tell. But I did finish 2 books this week. Now, the first is Into the Dark, which was recommended to me by Amelia, and I love this. This is my first Fiona Cummins, and it definitely won't be my last. There was I don't want to give too much away, but there was chronic illness representation in this one, which I wasn't expecting in a thriller and really enjoyed. Wasn't totally sure on the ending of this one, but generally on the whole really enjoyed this one, so I gave it a 4.5 star, and looking forward to reading more from Fiona Cummins. In fact, I might pick up another Fiona Cummins tonight. I'm just refilming this clip because I went into a 10-minute long rant and I've just watched it back to edit it, and it makes no sense. So I also finished Marie Kondo's Karashi at Home, and this was sent to me very kindly from Book Break a while ago, and I thought it got lost in the move, but no, it was in a box in the garage full of Christmas things, of all things. I really enjoyed this one. I don't rate non-fiction books anymore, but I just really like the way that Marie Kondo in this one talked about kind of creating a life that works for you. Now, some of the advice I would take with a pinch of salt, the same way that I would say with the life-changing magic of tidying up. But she talks a lot in this one about like respecting your home and your space. And she talks also about how these kind of rhythms and routines change. So she talks about having children and how her and her husband have just found what works for them. And it really just kind of cemented that I'm doing the right thing, trying this low buy year and trying to decide what things are important to me and fitting into that kind of routine. I used to spend too much of my time feeling guilty for not being like zero waste and not being vegan, but being vegan just doesn't fit with my body and how my body works. And I am making a conscious effort to do things like not buy fast fashion and eat less animal products and use less single weight plastic. But I think that if we focus too much on doing all these things perfectly, we find it too easy to give up. I'd rather more people did these things imperfectly than people saying, oh no, I can't afford to do that, or I'm not engaging with that. So yeah, I'm just trying to lead a more conscious life, put it that way. In the words of the great Hippocratic oath, first do no harm, and that's what I intend to do. So I'm always open to discuss if anything you think that I'm doing is harmful. I have unfollowed a lot of influencers in the last couple of years who kind of started out on a zero waste anti-consumerism vein, but then in my opinion sold out, and I am trying not to do that. It's such a balance because I obviously love receiving books and reading books and reviewing books, but at the same time, like I say, at the core of what I want to do here is doing no harm. And so on that note, before we get too philosophical, I think that I better go and edit this video and then get into bed because I am exhausted and I have to be up early in the morning. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you have, please like and subscribe below. And until next time, look after yourselves. Bye.